Hello parents, welcome to Autism Pilot. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with a new video where I'm going to talk about why our children are engaging in self-injurious behaviors and how we can stop it for good. So stay tuned. If you've liked the video, give a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and share this video with your loved ones who need help. I am going to talk on my personal experience, how I have helped my son to stop his self-injurious behaviors. So stay tuned. To understand why our children are engaging in self-injurious activities, we need to rule out some of the things. The first thing that is very important is to take your child to the doctor, to get him diagnosed properly, to rule out any medical conditions that might be underlying. When he is diagnosed that he is absolutely fine, he has no toothache, headache, ear ringing, or any discomfort in his body, then you can rule out the medical condition and focus on the next step. The next step is to identify and understand where your child is having problems. Your child could be feeling frustrated, anxious, and agitated for not being able to express himself. Often, children with autism have difficulty in expressing themselves. If they are non-verbal, they don't have the means to communicate. If they are verbal, some children are not able to articulate their statements and they cannot get their messages properly conveyed. What can we do to help them? Let's focus on the children with autism who are non-verbal. Often children with autism who are non-verbal are not able to say anything. So does that mean that they won't be able to express themselves? No, that is not the case. When it came to my son, I got visuals made with flashcards, which helped my son to pick out the flashcards and tell me how he was feeling or what he wanted just using the flashcard. And it made it easier for him to actually communicate better, and he was feeling more happy and confident. Along with the flashcards, we can also teach our children with autism who are non-verbal to communicate with us by using sign language. For example, I, yes, no, want, thank you, sorry, something like that. You can customize it in your own way. It does not have to be in the proper format. When you say all these words and show the hand gestures, your child is very naturally going to pick it up. And use these hand gestures when you encourage your child to, communicate with you. That is going to help your child to feel less anxious and frustrated if he wants to say something to you. So the first help with visuals and then sign language is very important. Secondly, the child might feel overwhelmed by the sounds, or he just wants to be out of that environment because it is too bright for him or too noisy for him or too cold for him, and he's not able to say that. Once you put the visuals in place, your child will be able to express himself. When you see the facial expression on your child, you will be able to tell, like, oh, this is when my child is going to have a meltdown. So to stop it, I should give him the flashcards. If he uses, okay, you can know how your child is feeling and provide for him in the way you think is best for him to self-regulate. Secondly, if he is not using the flashcards and if he doesn't want to use the flashcards at that moment, you can do something. You can create a safe space for him in your house. It can be a corner of the house where you can put up a nice tent, put fairy lights inside, make sure it is safe so that your child does not pull on the strings and harm himself. You can also put his favorite books, his sensory toys, or whatever he likes to do, and keep it inside the tent. Take him inside that room, put him inside the tent, and put a weighted blanket on him. You will start feeling better. That is redirection. How am I redirecting him? I saw my child going to have a meltdown. I took the visuals to my child. My child did not want to see the visuals. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to force the child to see the visual. I'm going to take my child, hold him by the hand and walk gently towards the room so that my child knows, okay, mommy is taking me to my tent where I can relax and feel better. It will help me to regulate myself. Let me talk about a scenario where it will help you to understand what we should do when our children are going to have a meltdown. Usually, our children with autism get involved in self-injurious activities when they're having a meltdown. It doesn't happen just as a regular thing like stimming. Stimming is something they cannot help themselves from doing. Like, they like doing it, they like engaging in stimming activities because it helps to calm their senses. So coming back to where I was going to talk about this scenario, let me play it out for you so that you understand. Okay, my son is sitting in a place and he's just sitting calmly, he's not doing anything and he's watching TV. All of a sudden, I look at my son and I see a change in his facial expression, and I can say from his facial expression change that he is going to have a meltdown. So my son is non-verbal in this scenario, and he's not able to express himself without the use of visuals. So I take the visuals, the choice board to him and tell him how is he feeling and what does he want me to do for him. So okay, my child is feeling hungry and he does not know how to express his hunger. So I can take the choice board with the visuals of different kinds of food which I would want him to have, and that would be healthy for him, right? But something he also prefers. So he chooses one of the snacks from there and gives it to me. When I see the picture of the snack, for example, it's a popcorn. So I take out a packet of popcorn, warm it up in the oven and pour it in a bowl and present it to him. So when he gets the bowl of popcorn, he feels that, okay, I was heard, I was able to express myself, and that redirection and prompt helped him to not have a meltdown and get into activity that would be self-harming for him. So what did I do? I helped him to express himself so that he did not harm himself, right? Now, coming back to the situation where my son does not want to use the visuals. He is so angry and frustrated that he does not want to engage with anyone. He does not want to communicate with me as well. And he doesn't want to look at the visuals too. In any time, my child can have a meltdown stemming from his anger. Yeah. So when I am seeing that he is getting very angry and does not want to look at the visuals, as a mother, I would understand that, okay, he is not in that state to communicate. What I should do is take my child, hold him by the hand and walk him to the safe place which I have created inside my house. So when you take the child from one situation and walk the child to the safe place, you are all again redirecting the child from having a meltdown to feeling calm and giving him the space and opportunity to self-regulate. After a while, you would be able to see that your child has not engaged in such life-threatening activities. Some of the activities which I got my son to do was play physical exercises for kids video on YouTube. In the beginning, my son wouldn't want to do the exercises on his own. I had his nanny to help him to do the exercises. I could not do it because I have back issues. So it was very difficult for me to make the movements on, for him consistently. So his nanny used to do the exercises by holding his arms and like jumping with him whenever the children on the video were jumping. So he would follow it, and within 6 to 8 months he actually started getting well at doing the exercises properly, and he did not need any hand-on-hand modeling. That would keep him engaged. So how did the exercises help my son? The exercises helped my son to burn his energy, which they have a lot. Children with autism usually have a lot of energy. They are very hyperactive Or there are also some children who are lazy and do not want to engage in any sorts of activities, and they just like to be zoned out. That's also a kind of visual stimming. But children like my son, who are very hyperactive and have a lot of energy, this was a good opportunity for him to earn his energy, and in an effective way, because he could follow the movements of the cartoon characters on the TV and follow their hand and leg movements, and imitate it on his own. And when a child is involved in an activity that is curated based on time, not on the number of repetitions he must complete in order to be done with it, they usually tend to get tired. Also, I used to climb the stairs and climb down the stairs with him. And I used to tell him that, look, we are not going to do it for 20 times. We are going to do it for 10 minutes. What my son did not realize, that when I said that we are going to do it for 10 minutes, 10 minutes became a long time for him, because if I told him we are going to climb up 20 steps and climb down 20 steps, so in 40 steps it was done in 2 minutes, because of how fast it is, right? So it wouldn't tire him out, and it wouldn't be an organized activity for him to engage in, where he would be able to burn his energy. So that helped him a lot. And besides that, I always keep talking about deep massages and deep compressions. Like, giving deep massages after the shower is very helpful. So during the shower, what I do is I use my hand loofah to clean my son's body. When I'm using the loofah gently on my son's body, he really likes the texture of the loofah on his body, and it helps to calm his senses on the body. So that is a plus point. After his shower is done, I used to give him hot oil massages all over his body. When his massages would be done, I would follow up with deep compression massages. Deep compression massages are like, you take the hand, you take your child's hand, and you just keep pressing on the joints, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you move on to the elbow joint and you press it here, then you press it here. Like, you make sure you're pressing on all the joints. Like, you take the finger and you're pressing it here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so you can do this all over the body, and make sure you continue doing this for at least 10 to 12 minutes after the deep massages are done. You can find the video of the deep massages in my channel, so you can go and have a look at the tutorial so that you can perform the deep massages on your child at home. When your child has had the massage and the deep compression, he usually feels relaxed. But there is still a possibility that your child might engage in self-injurious activity sometime during the day. So to prevent it, keep him engaged. And to engage him, you can get him engaged in coloring and playing Play-Doh. And when that is done, give him food to eat. If you're feeding him, take time to feed him. Afterwards, if your child is going to take a nap, you can put your child down for a nap and wake him up, then take him out for a walk. And during the walk, you can make sure that you're incorporating the exercises, such as climbing up and down the stairs for 10 minutes. Then you can also, if you're not going to take your child out for a walk, you can definitely just switch on YouTube and play kids exercise videos, and you can do the movements of the exercises with your child so that your child can follow you. Or maybe if you want your child to follow the cartoon characters or the person doing the exercises on the video, then you can just encourage your child to watch the video and take his hand and do the exercises for him, so that if he is not willing to do the exercises in the beginning, he will learn with your assistance. I have read many forums where parents have mentioned that they put on headgears on their children with autism to prevent their head from having an hemorrhage. when they're banging really hard against the wall or some hard object. I understand it and I support it. But how long do you think your child will be able to bear the weight of the helmet? Your child might not feel uncomfortable with it, and your child might want to take it off because, when that thing is on their head, your child might start feeling uncomfortable. And with that, his agitation and frustration might be very heightened, and he would not stop at anything to self-harm to show that how uncomfortable he is. So to prevent that, we can redirect our child whenever he's going to have a meltdown. Take that child into his safe space and rub your hands nicely on your child's head to massage it, so that with your fingers he feels the sensation of calm and relaxation, and he wouldn't want to engage in activities that could harm him. Also, have a set of visual cards inside the safe haven as well for your child, so that if your child is feeling better or if your child needs something inside his safe haven, he knows, like if he shows the flashcards to you that mama is, then you would be able to understand what your child needs. If your child is feeling too warm, you can turn on the AC. If your child is feeling too cold, you can just, make the blanket more warmer by just folding it into half and making it more heavier, so that your child is feeling calmer under the weight of the blanket and also feeling warm. Your child might want something to eat as well, because he can get hungry inside his safe haven or his tent. I hope all of these techniques and methods help you. These have helped my son. My son used to bang his head against the couch all the time, and I was worried that he might just start banging his head against the wall, and that's when I got worried and thought that okay, something might be like triggering my son to behave in such a way. So I got him diagnosed by the doctor at first. So the doctor ruled out any possibilities for him to feel pain, but we knew as parents that he had a lot of cavity inside his mouth, so we needed to get him a dental checkup and some extractions done. So that was getting delayed, and we were very frustrated, thinking that our child is suffering, and that is why maybe he is acting out and he's not able to express his frustration and pain he was going through. So I created some visuals where and I put it up on choice board, and I helped him to communicate with me, because at that point in time he was not verbal, he wouldn't speak that much. So the visuals really helped him to express himself. And after we got his tooth extracted, his pain just went away, it vanished, and it brought a very big change in his behavior, and it helped him to calm down. Then the use of visuals made him feel more confident and relaxed, and he was at ease, feeling that he was able to express himself better. So every day I made sure that I would take my son out for a walk. He liked walking, but during the walk I made sure that he was engaged in some activities. So I would take him to the park if we went out, and on the park, like what we did was I made him do some exercises, and I would just tell him to like follow me, to copy me when I was doing the exercises, and my husband would be with us. So what would happen was I would tell him like, look, we are going to do this exercise for 10 minutes, and he would just continue watching me, and he would try to copy me throughout the time, so that he had a good outlet of getting his energy used. And my husband was always there to hold him, to assist him, so that he did not run away. And if my husband wasn't home and I was not able to take him out for a walk and for the exercise, I usually played videos on YouTube where children would be exercising, and I would help him to do the exercises by modeling, by assisting him using my hand. And later with time I just directed with my voice, and he would start following the movements from the TV and also follow my instructions, so that his cognition and listening skills became much better. And through when his energy was used in a very positive proactive way, he was more calmer and relaxed, and he did not have much time to feel that, oh, I need this but I'm not able to say it, so I'm just going to bang my head against the couch, or just style have, like, throw a tantrum. And if it's not a tantrum, like if he really had a bad time, like he would have meltdown and it would go on for hours, and it was very difficult for us to have control on his behavior. So when his behavior would go on for hours, we usually took him to the safe space we had for him, and he liked lying on that bed with his weighted blanket on, and he liked his weighted animal like this, like it's very heavy, and I would just put it on top of his body to make him feel that okay, something was really hugging him tight. Or sometimes I would just wrap him by the blanket and let him lie down with the lights dimmed out and play a calming music. Deep massages helped, and at that point in time when he was having severe meltdowns, I just stopped giving him deep massages, because I thought that he does not need it anymore. But all of a sudden it came as a revelation, like I remembered the times when he used to have a good time when I gave him the deep massages and the compressions. So I started giving him once again, and his behavior changed very drastically, and I saw an improvement in his behavior. So after his medical concern was taken care of, he got engaged in many more activities, such as exercises. He had access to visuals, and he got proper massages every day, and he was getting to do his exercises as well. So overall, as a holistic approach, whatever I've done on him, it had a positive effect, and it stopped him from engaging in self-injurious activities such as scratching his body by himself. And he became a much more happier child than he actually was before. So I hope these tips and methods really help you, so that you can implement this on your child if your child is engaging in such activities. If you have any feedbacks to share, please write it in the comment section. If you want to connect with me, please contact my official Facebook page and shoot me a DM to ask about any issues that you're having with your child, or if you want to learn new skills where you can implement this to develop new skills on your child. Yeah, because as parents we have to learn the strategies at first to help them develop the skills. Also, if you need to talk as an autism mom or a dad, don't hesitate and contact me. I'm always a listening ear. I understand, I've been there, I've been very lonely. I did not have anyone to share my pains and sorrows with, but now I am feeling much more confident than before, because my methods which I've shared with you actually helped my son to come out of a very bad situation and perform better, a lot better than before. So I want to help other parents as well, so that they can help their children to grow properly with more happy smiles on their face and perform better at their lives. So I hope this video was helpful. If you've liked this video, please give a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, press on the bell notification so that you receive latest updates whenever I post a new video, and follow my Facebook official page, Autism Pilot. Bye bye.